What is up, guys, and welcome to another my HLTV Fantasy. Today we are looking at Malta Vibes Knockout Series 5. So for this one, there's no first stage, only second stage. 16 teams, out of which 8 are invited, and I would say the 8 invited teams are generally of a higher caliber than the qualifier teams. So yeah, let's get into it, I guess. General knockout series style. Once you lose once, you're out. And yeah, hopefully these teams get through that I pick and make it to the final, basically. That's the way to get the most points. Like the teams I most consider picking from are Ecstatic, Twin Flames, maybe K23, maybe Heat. And I wouldn't really want to pick the others. Maybe Force could be decent. But the one team I'm definitely probably picking is Ecstatic. They've done decently recently, and always against this tier of opposition they do quite well. So I am going with 2 players from Ecstatic, and then I'm still kind of undecided on I want to go for maybe 2 Copenhagen Flames players, maybe only 1 guy, maybe only a Hooksy, for example. But yeah, maybe some players from K23. I wouldn't be too against that. These are the most picked players. Hooksy is the most picked. He's one of those players who I think is very popular just for the price. You get to do a lot of cool lineups. And he doesn't he plays at this level, and you're gonna expect to get this level of performance out of him. I think it's a decent pick for this price. Others that have been picked quite a lot: Dafu, Bird from Sky, Static makes sense. Flamey making his kind of return with 1 win at a pretty good price. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know how highly I would rank 1 win out of these teams. Also, yeah, of course, important with this kind of format is that I want to go with 1 team out of this half of the bracket and 1 team out of this, so kind of eliminates K23 from my consideration. Especially as I think Ecstatic actually took K23 in the other tournament that is going on right now. What is it? Funspark Ulti, yeah. I think Ecstatic 2-0 K23. So would be fair to assume that Ecstatic is the stronger of the 2, and stronger than these 2 as well. Then on this side, yeah, there's definitely some options. I kind of favor Heat, but I wouldn't be against like Copenhagen and Force either. I think let's see how the prices work out and which players I want to first of all pick from Ecstatic. So kind of looked at Dafu earlier. I think he's had some pretty mediocre events, but they're low sample size, and other than that, he's usually doing pretty well. Look at when these were played. This was all kind of last year. When it comes to this, I don't know why does this not show? Oh, this is like not showing these matches for whatever reason. Been not great. Let's put it that way. This month. Check this month's stats for everyone. Although it is a low sample size, but Bird from Sky actually pretty decently. That's a good map. There's Enterprise, but he's one of those players he can do pretty well for that price. I'd say he's decent enough. Pretty popular. I don't know what this price is all about on Dafu. I mean, Wolfie kind of makes him unpickable. I don't even consider picking him, honestly, for 234. I asked a couple friends as well, like what they think this is about. I don't think anyone knows why his price is like. Probably just a mistake. Manx is usually pretty decent. Not that great. Funspark Ulti matches. And then what about Fasher then? Fasher is kind of the one player I would probably want to pick, and I will pick now. So it's probably going to be Fasher and Bird from Sky from Ecstatic. I think that's decent. I mean, Fasher is one of those great players, and I mean, usually with Ecstatic, it's kind of coming down to, do you want to pick Wolfie or Fasher? I mean, you could go for like Dafu, Manx, depending on how much money you have. But in this event, I would probably go always with Wolfie or Fasher, and with the way Wolfie is priced, makes Fasher pretty much the only one I want to pick out of them two. But yeah, pretty decent. And then I mean, Hooksy gives me a lot of freedom in terms of who do I want to pick from the other team, like out of the other teams. If I go Hooksy, I'm probably going double CPH. 0, but then we don't have AWP. So if we go like Nico Odas, go a 2, we can get Afro for a second AWP player. Fame, probably not Fame. Probably would rather have someone from this side of the bracket as my last guy. So like Afro actually makes some sense. Yeah, this could work. I'll have this in mind. I mean, I don't want to pick any of the other players. Like anyone from the other teams, I don't think. Like Force is like probably one of the only ones I could myself going for. But I think it's probably fine. What if I don't go Hooks? What if I go but I want to go for an AWP like this. 7-8 is not a lot. Can't even get exercise. Is there any cheap AWPs? Wait, Zorte is the AWP on 4s. But I think, yeah, you can't even go for the 4s. Wolfie is the AWP on Ecstatic, so that's out of question. XC Power. I think it's pretty tough to not go for Hooksy. Then this just makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. If you have any faith in Heat, I think Heat are pretty decent. I think they probably make it to the stage, which in the end is like the best they can, like just the best of 5th player you can expect to do. And they have a chance of making through even. I don't think that's impossible at all. Maybe getting a bit of a boost also from being on a team. I think these are the first games they play under the Heat banner. I think this is the lineup probably. We have like only, well, we have 4 players out of this grouping. It's not the least, like the most original team, but I think Afro gives me maybe a bit of originality in comparison to other teams. I think I like this. So one of these is AWP, the other one is CT rating probably. We have a support player out of these, not really. Let's go through some of the roles. So main AWP is Afro or Nikolas. We'll take a look at that later. Bird from Sky. It could be support. So entry fragger. Do we have entry players? That's a pretty good entry percentage. So probably entry fragger on Afro actually. And then Nico on the main AWP. Then probably IGL. You could go IGL on Bird from Sky as well. I won't lie, that's an option. I'll take a look at some of the support makes probably the most sense. Go Noob. But I dislike going noob a lot of the time. Is it still better? Maybe it's still better. How about Bird from Sky? I mean, none of the roles are really good for him. I think we go leader on Bird from Sky because I expect more from Ecstatic than CPH in this event, I guess. So Fasher. Oh wow. 88. 87, so this is just better. Multifragger. Others, yeah, it's Multifragger Fasher. Somehow it doesn't always 21, so this is probably better than CT rating, right? Yeah. Might be best to go for noob. It always feels so bad if first of all you can put noob on anyone, then second of all to if they happen to have good maps. Yeah, it's annoying. Maybe go support instead. I'll go for support instead. It's a bit more gambly, but I want to gamble a bit on that. Hope that it works out for me. Because if CPH have like blowout series, like blowout games here against, for example, this team here, Hoopsy might just have like a 1.0 rating, and then Noob is just not good, and support could be more accurate, representing like what he's done in the game. Either way, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, and I will see you in the next. Bye.